صلى الله وسلم عليك يا رسول الله وعلى أهل بيتك المعصومين المنتجبين. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة المظلومة. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز والله فوزا عظيما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولقد آتينا إبراهيم رشده من قبل وكنا به عالمين. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات اللهم صل على Muhammad. For the love of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, with the loudest of our voices, Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali. For the purification of our hearts and hastening of the reappearance of our beloved, the 12th Imam, with the loudest of our voices, Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Once again, we thank Almighty Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala for giving us this second night of the holy month of Muharram. And we pray that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala accept our humble efforts in this holy month of Muharram. Last night, mu'mineen and mu'minat, lovers and the followers of Ahl al-Bayt, we discussed Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. The inheritor of the prophets. And we looked at different examples as to what constitutes the inheritance of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam from the prophets of Almighty Allah. And alhamdulillah, thanks to brothers and some of our sisters who engaged me on the last night topic with some amazing questions, especially this afternoon at the mosque after Salat al-Zuhr. This is what I would like to encourage one and all. Make sure if anything is not clear, seek clarifications. We are all here to learn, as I mentioned last night, from the institution of Sayyid al-Shuhada. Indeed, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam is unique. But that doesn't mean that Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu was salam are not unique. Each one of them is unique in its own place. And so last night the discussion was about the uniqueness of Imam al-Hussein. And hence we realize the ziyarat we have when it comes to the personality of Imam al-Hussein, Salamullah alayh, we do not have a ziyarah like that in the case of Ahl Bayt al-Ismati wa Tahara. As our beloved Imam Muhammad al-Baqir, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayh. Imam al-Baqir said, all of us Ahlul Bayt, we are Sufunun Najat. All of us, from Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen up to our beloved 12th Imam, all of us are arcs of salvation. But he said, but the arc of salvation of Hussein is very quick. So they're all unique. But Hussein is indeed unique. The verse I've just quoted, Mu'mineen and Mu'minat, and I encourage you, all those verses, when you go back home, double check. For me, my aim is for you to learn, for me to learn. We are here to unlearn, to relearn and learn. Reflect on whatever we are discussing. Don't come and go empty. If you go empty, it's either I'm the problem or you are the problem. Let us all try as much as we can to make the best out of these 12 nights of the holy month of Ramadan, so that I can put hand on heart to say, indeed, I've learned something new, or I've been reminded of what I knew before. The verse I've just quoted from the Holy Quran is Quran 21, verse 51. Suratul Anbiya. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala said, وَلَكَدْ آتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ مِنْ قَبْلِ وَكُنَّا بِهِ عَالِمِينَ. He said, indeed, we've given Ibrahim sound reasoning before. And we were all knowing about Ibrahim alayhi salam. Inshallah, we'll come to this verse later. Departing from this verse, our topic of tonight is simply the guided community. And the examination of tonight is of the following 3 stages. The first stage, we'll look at the emergence of community. Do we need a community or not? Or I can do it without having a community? That's the first stage of the examination. Second stage of the examination, what is guided community? And then the last stage of tonight, we'll focus more on the elements or the characteristics of the guided community. End of the day, my dear brothers and sisters, we are lovers and the followers of Ahlul Bayt. And the main barometer of whatever we do should be the teachings of the Holy Prophet, Ahlul Bayt, and the glorious Quran. First stage of the examination, the emergence or the establishment of community. Here there are so many discussions among scholars, especially in the field of sociology. And if you come to the Holy Quran, you'll come across so many verses discussing communities. And most especially the community established by our beloved Prophet, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Most especially in the holy city of Medina. Now question. How did community come about? How did an individual turn into a community? Example. How did Adam and Hawa alayhim as-salam turn into community? At one point they were individuals, but then they became nations. They became communities. In other words, what is the need for having a community? Kindly, I beg you, pay attention to this, brothers and sisters. Kindly pay maximum attention to this. Do we need to have a community? Or we do not need to have a community? In trying to explain this, I would like us to first look at the definition of a community. What is a community? And thereafter we look at our need for community, whether we need it or not. Simple definition of a community is that it's one group of people come together, living in one space and the same norms, rules, and regulations. They are called a community. Typical example, Bedouins in a desert, they are called a community because they live in one environment under one rules and regulations. Another example, for example, people in the countryside, they live in one environment and under same rules and regulations. So they are called a community. Likewise, people in the city, when you find people living in a city, regardless of where they live, so long as they live in one place under one rules, regulation, they are called a community. Typical example, Darus Salam Jamaat is a community. Your workplace is a community. Your family is a community. But now the question is, do I need a community? Can't I live alone? What is the need for all these community? Community. Here, I would like to draw your attention to three main needs in life. You'll not come across the third one. This Hasruna Akli is intellectual categorization. The first need in life is natural need. Hajatun fitri. Example of natural need, like our need for food and water. Naturally, I need food. And I need water. Without food and water, I will not survive. And you know, by the way, even our communities, when there's a program and they say Niyaz will be served, what happens? Packed. It's a natural need. The second need is compelling need. Haja eduterari. Example, our need for medication. Sickness is not a natural thing. Naturally, I'm not created to be sick. Sickness is a compelling thing. I'm compelled, so I go to doctor for medication. So that's compelling need. The third need is need by choice. Hajatun ikhtiyari. Yes, I need it, but it's my choice. Typical example, the need to look presentable when I attend a program. It's your choice to wear black. If you don't want to wear black, nobody's going to force you. It's your choice to wear what you're wearing. So it's a need by choice. Some of us are wearing blue here. Some are wearing black. Some are wearing even white. خُذُوا زِينَتَكُمْ عِنْدَ كُلِّ مَسْجِدٍ, Allah says in Quran. For every masjid you go, for every prayer, for every prostration you do, why not you hold on to your beautification? You look handsome, glamorous. So these are the three needs. Question: where does our need to have a community lies? Is it a natural need? Understand this, brothers and sisters. Or is it a compelling need? Or is it a need by choice? Interestingly, Allama Tabatabai, Kadasallahu Nafsahu Zakiyah, in Tafsir al-Mizan, Volume 2, page 117, he holds this view that our need to have a community is a compelling need. I may not subscribe to that, but that's a solid opinion, that our need for a community is a compelling need. And look at how he beautifully explained. He said, when you examine insan, human being, you realize that insan is made up of different instincts, garaiz. But the strongest instinct in each and every individual is a gariza to hubbi that. It's instinct of love for self. Who doesn't love himself, Habibi? You want to make more money. And the thing is, the more money people have, the more they want to make. Nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to expand in his life. So Tabatabai said, this instinct of love for self gives birth to two major instincts in our lives. The first one, Garitha to daf'il alam, and the second one, Garitha to jalbil ladha. So the first instinct that this instinct of love for self gives birth to is an instinct for self-defense. You look at a baby, an infant. When a fly is going around his eyes or nose, the baby tries to knock it. So we have this instinct of self-defense. Somebody tries to become mayhem in your life, you try to disappear from that person because you have this instinct. But the other instinct, this is where Tabatabai comes from. He said it's the instinct of bringing every pleasure and happiness to one's life. He said because I as an individual, I want pleasure, I want happiness, but I know I cannot cause all happiness in my life without the need of others. So therefore, when I need a carpenter and I'm not a carpenter, I go out and get someone to come because I want to maintain that pleasure in my life. When I need a Maulana, I'm not Maulana. Muhammad Walji, they have to invite a Maulana to come because insan wants his pleasure. When I need electrician, I am not an electrician. You need to bring somebody. So Tabatabai said, because insan wants to maintain that happiness and pleasure, insan is compelled to be a member of a community. Go and live alone. There are so many things you need to do in your life, and you cannot do it. So according to him, you are compelled. But the most celebrated opinion is that having a community is a natural need. It's not a compelling need. Naturally, we all need a community because of two major reasons. Kindly look at these reasons. The first reason is our need to express or demonstrate our God-given talent. Example, I'm a preacher. That's my work. Can you imagine me being a preacher without people? My job is to talk. If there is no community, where am I going to express this God-given talent? You are an engineer, for example, and you say, you know what? I don't need any community. Where are you going to demonstrate your God-given talent? I need a community. Naturally, I need to express my God-given talent. And the only way to do so is to have a community where I can express it. Whether in return I get something or I do it for the pleasure of Allah. So therefore we all need community. The second reason as to why we all need a community is because naturally we need peace of mind. Naturally, look at Surah Al-Ma'arij, verse 19. Allah says, Innal insana khulika halu'a. Indeed, insan is created anxious. Will I be diagnosed of a cancer? Will I lose my job? What will happen to me tomorrow? Insan has that was worse. The only way to overcome this is to have a sense of peace and tranquility. And one of the best ways is to have a community. Because you know, I have the back of the members of my community and the other way around. So naturally, we cannot run away from a community. It's either you belong to this one or you belong to that one. There is no way insan will be independent of a community. It's not possible. Otherwise, Otherwise, you will struggle with loneliness. It's either you give it here or you go somewhere else, you give. Now look at the second stage of our examination. Kindly, brothers, once again, you are requested to move forward, inshallah. Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Salawat, salawat. Second stage of our examination, the guided community. What is guided community? Here I would like to draw your attentions to some verses of the Holy Quran. The verse I quoted earlier on, Quran 21, verse 51. Allah says, وَلَكَدْ آتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ مِنْ قَبْلِ وَكُنَّا بِهِ عَالِمِينَ. He said, we have indeed given Ibrahim his sound reasoning before. And we were all knowing about Ibrahim alayhi salam. Now this sound reasoning, my dear brothers and sisters, is talking about rationalism. It's talking about guidance. The ayah is trying to say Ibrahim alayhi salam is a guided leader. This guidance, which the ayah is talking about, the opposite of it is chaos. So sometimes you may have an individual who is chaotic, but sometimes you have an individual who is guided. And this when it comes to rushd, there are two types. We have rushd fiqhi and rushd ijtima'i. We have jurisprudential maturity and social maturity. What is jurisprudential maturity? It's when a person knows how to manage wealth. Anyone who knows how to manage wealth is regarded as somebody jurisprudentially matured. But anyone who cannot manage wealth, jurisprudentially is regarded safir, fool. Quran says, وَلَا تُؤْتُوا السُّفَهَاءَ أَمْوَالَكُمُ الَّتِي جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ قِيَامًا. Don't give fools your money, your wealth, which Allah has given you to be a source of strength for you. Meaning what? People who cannot manage wealth, don't give them wealth to manage. So that is rushdu fiqhi. But we have rushdu ijtima'i. We have social maturity. Social maturity is when a person is a guided leader and he or she is able to guide a community. So the way we have guided individuals, we also have guided communities. And likewise, we have lost individuals and lost communities. Guided communities are what? They are communities which I will explore more just now, who know their potentials, who know their boundaries, they know what they want, and they know how to achieve it. They are called guided communities. Some communities are lost. Even in our community, some of the communities are lost. They don't know their potentials. They don't know their talents. They don't know their challenges. They don't know their priorities. They are regarded as lost. Now, brothers and sisters, guided community is of different elements. You want to say this community is guided? You have to look at this element. And all of us sitting here and those watching online, we all have responsibilities towards ensuring that we build and support the building of the best community in the sight of Allah, our beloved Prophet, and Ahlul Bayt. The first element of a guided community is having a guided leader. It begins with a guided leader. As the says going, people are given leaders according to the way they are. Excuse my word, when people are fools, they are given fools to lead. When people are highly intellectual, they are given intellectuals to lead them. So the first element of a guided community is that they have a guided leader. Question: who is a guided leader? Habibi, when I talk of a leader, I'm talking from the resident alim, president, secretary, everyone, kila kitu, up to caretaker, up to Muki. Each one is a leader. Or leave that. In your houses, you are leaders. So it covers each and every one of us. And these next lines I'm going to mention, I humbly seek your indulgence. Because I would love you to appreciate and understand the message I'm trying to put across. So that tomorrow one will be much easier to digest. A leader is someone, my dear brothers and sisters, who has the power and the strength to do what? To influence his or her followers positively. A leader is that one who is able to manage the energies of the members of his or a community to something productive. Anyone who cannot channel the energies of the members of his communities, whether positive energy or bad energy, something productive, he is not a leader, he's just a resident alim. You see, resident alim is just a title. Speaker here, wallahi, is a title. Akuna kitu is nothing. President is a title. These are all titles. The fact that I'm a resident alim doesn't mean that I'm a leader. The fact that I'm a prime minister doesn't mean that I'm a leader. If you do not tick the boxes of a guided leader, you remain resident alim but not a leader. So for you to be elected is a title, Habibi. You need to let it manifest when you start leading. You need to have that power to influence your people positively. Then you can put a hand on heart to say that, you know what, I've done it, I've achieved it. Now, a guided leader is someone who has exceptional followers. It's easy to say our leaders are this and that. Are you exceptional follower? Are you a challenging follower? Or you have your caucus out there and then nothing inside? How many of our community before AGM, kala, they go inside, they all become paranoid. Who to blame? A guided leader needs guided followers. I give you a typical example. The Holy Prophet had so many people following him, isn't it? Top-notch leader, and he won. Imam Ali alayhi salam, yes, had quite a reasonable number. Imam Hassan. Are you going to tell me, Na'udhu Billah, Imam Hassan is a failure? No way. Who were the failures? The followers. So sometimes it's easy to say leader is a failure without looking at myself. Imam Hassan Salamullah alayh had no many people. Some of those who were in the forefront supporting Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, they were willing to kill Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba. But to such an extent, upon the shahada of Imam Hassan, people were trying to throw arrows on the body of Imam Hassan. So I cannot say Imam Hassan is a failure. Are you following my point? Kindly pay attention. And feel free to ask any question, wallah. Interrogate, seek clarification. We are here to speak and learn. So you need exceptional followers. A guided leader, my dear brothers and sisters. That's the next barometer of a guided leader. He needs power. Power. And from my humble reading, there are two powers. You've got central power, you've got individual power. Central power, the constitution of the community gives you. You have the power. For me, that's not important. What is important, and I want to see in my leaders, is individual power. And to achieve individual power, you need to do at least 3 things, which I don't see in most of our leaders. Some are good, but most I don't see. Number 1, wafrul ma'lumat. A guided leader who has individual power is the one who understands the sicknesses of his community. Me, Imam, in my mosque in Birmingham, do I know the sickness of my community? If I don't know, I'm a failure. Dismally. Talk is cheap. Wallah, I'm telling you. To sit here talk, no big deal. But if you don't see what I say in me, throw me away. Talk is cheap, Habibi. We have moved from talking now. Action plan. You've been leader for 5 years. Show me your practical achievement. I need solid achievement. So to have a power, I don't want to confuse you. You need 3 things. The first one, you have to have knowledge about your people. Amirul Mu'mineen described the Holy Prophet, Kana Tabibun, Dawarun Betibbe. Prophet was a medical doctor who used to circulate with his medication. Yani Prophet, Salamullah alayhi salam, he understood the sickness of the people. So Abibi, if you're a leader and you don't understand my sickness, why are you standing? Why? Conche. You're doing this service to me, and I'm doing this service to you. Second element to have individual power, a leader must be charismatic. You cannot be a leader if you are not a charismatic person. You have to have what they call in community organizing relational power. A leader must be charismatic in your approach to get that individual power. And the third thing to do to get individual power is what? You must be approachable. You must be. Amir al-Mu'mineen was approachable. Abu Abdullah Salamullah alayh, as I will conclude tonight, he was a guided leader and very approachable leader. Regardless of how tantrums were thrown at him. Because you're a leader. And then the last point on a leader is what? Mawqif. Stance. You cannot be a leader if you cannot take a stand. Forget. Go home, sleep. Al-Qiyada Mawqif. Leadership is stance. Sometimes people may not like what you are doing. But if you are a leader, you need to be able to take a stand. And you need to be brave when it comes to taking those stands. So long as it does not clash with the teachings of the Holy Quran, the Holy Prophet, and Ahlul Bayt, just close your eye and do it. So that is the first element of a guided community, their leader. Now look at the second element. A guided community is a community where the expertise, the skills, and the potentials of the members of that community manifest in that community. Istithmaru taqat. You know, we're all sitting here. Some are up, some are down. Some are in the Imam Barga. Ladies are somewhere else. They're all watching. Some are online. Wallah, we are pools of expertise. Are our communities using the talent and the expertise we have? A guided community is a community where the talent and the expertise of their members are plugged back into that community for the growth of that community. You are a top-notch businessman in your own right. To what extent has your community benefited from you? Sometimes you are the problem, and sometimes the community is a problem. Because some of our communities, red line, red tape is too much. So the expertise must be used. In this room alone, we are a few hundreds here. If I have to ask each one of you, what's your profession? What's your talent? It will be unbelievable. Others are using the skills and the talent of their communities to grow and to become the envy of all. Are we doing the same? Yes, we're trying, but not to that level. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala described the companions of the Holy Prophet. It's not only ruhama'u baynahum, isn't it? They were very powerful. Salman al-Farisi, top-notch. Miqdad, top-notch. You go to Imam Ali, Kumail, top-notch. All these companions had unbelievable skills for the benefit of Islam and the leadership of Imam Amir al-Mu'minin. So a guided community is a community where the skills and the expertise of its members are plugged in. So as I said, I repeat, the challenge may be the leaders, too much red tape, so everybody's running away. The challenge may not be the leader, it's you. You've got the skills, but why are you running away? You want to die with that skills? I always say these things. This is a repetition. I say it many times. Wallah, our senior citizens, they are not in the departure lounge. They are the think tanks of our community, but we don't use them. They may not have the PhD you have. They may not be driving the cars you have. But wisdom, you don't go and buy it. The one who sleeps before you wakes up before you. But senior citizens in most of the community is only seniors in program, Kala Allah, Kala Rasul, Mandazi, Kichiro, Shirumadri. After that, Masahib go home, Masfi Amanillah, Suche, Kemchote. Some of you, those of you who have grandparents in your houses, you can vouch for the wisdoms they have. Barabar, you can vouch for that. You sit next to your grandparents. When they start talking, it's unbelievable. But our communities are not using these skills. Some communities, I don't want to mention names, they are documenting these skills for the growth of their communities. Habibi, Islam is broad. And the destiny requires action from us. I cannot come Muharram, I talk, everybody go, Imam Hussein. Crucial, Imam Hussein is everything to us. But we need to use Imam Hussein and Ahlul Bayt as vehicles to become forces to reckon with. Not only in Dar es Salaam, in the entire world. So that people find Tashayyu attractive. So that's second one. Look at the next barometer, the next element. A guided community focuses on priorities. Not everything. Here, I'm going to give you some examples. You can't do everything. You need to focus on priorities. If you do not focus on priorities, you'll achieve nothing. And you cannot regard yourself as guided community. Now I ask all of you sitting here, and those watching us wherever they are watching from, what are our priorities as Shias? Are our priorities, do I tawassul authentic, not authentic? Please, man, I'm tired of that, man. I love dua tawassul, I drink dua tawassul. But I think we have grown past that. Some are still, dua in Nuduba, is it authentic or not? I am saying I love it. You don't love it. Suche. Are we going to keep doing this for this younger generation to look at us and slap us? These are important. I'm not trivializing anything. In fact, I'm discussing some of it in some of the night. But these are not priorities. No, our priorities, you make him taqleed of that marja, you that marja. I'm doing Sistani. May Allah prolong his life. You are doing another marja. Are we to fight? At the end of the day, we are all under one banner of Muhammadin wa Ali Muhammad. Are these our priorities? I don't know your priorities in Dar es Salaam. I don't know your priorities wherever you're coming from. But I personally, these are not priorities. A guided community focus on priorities. Are our priorities some of our youth going out of Islam? Drugs? Chewing mirror the whole night? Wasting time on social media? People hardly come to the mosque apart in Muharram. What are our priorities? A guided community focus on its priorities. Awlawiyat. Wallah, without focusing on priorities, every year we'll sit and we'll have the same discussion. I don't know here of that, but some of our communities, when they have AGM, it takes Allahu Akbar. Hours, ages. Habibi, AGM, you having AGM for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days? What are our priorities? And of course, in my humble opinion, to appreciate your priorities, you either go through survey, census, or you go through what they call listening campaign. So the listening campaign, you come like this. You tell people, what are your problems? Tell me all your problems. It's not a survey. It's not a census. Just tell me your problem. They're going to give you all problems. You take the problems. Don't answer anything. Just take the problems. When you go, what do? You translate the problems into challenges. And then you translate the challenges into priorities. That's how you can serve people. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll discuss how to discover creativity in our community. So this will come more tomorrow. So priorities are important, Habibi. Otherwise, we cannot regard ourselves as guided communities. Amirul Mu'mineen knew his priorities. That's why he left Medina for Kufa. Aba Abdullah Salamullah alayh. How many people said to Imam Hussein, don't go? But Imam Hussein understood his priorities. Sha'allahu ayyarani katila. It's Allah's will that I will be slain. I am going. But what is the priority of Abu Abdullah? To retain the izzah of Islam. And because of this priority, Abu Abdullah had to go and ensure that even Ali ibn al-Askar alayhi salam was chopped off. Priority is crucial. I can say most of our communities, we are losing priorities. It's my priority to recite Yasin every Thursday. I'm not undermining that. I love it. I do it. But if Muhammad Walji doesn't do, should I get worked up? No. What's the priority? Are we preparing for the 12th Imam or not? I'm done. Because I'm 40-something, I'm done. These children, what am I leaving for them as legacy so that they can continue with this azar and farsh azar? Priorities are crucial. We talk too much and action less. We are done, all the senior citizens, alhamdulillah. May Allah bless our elders. The younger generation, most of you in the middle. Majority here are younger generation. Majority you can see, look around. So Habibi, we have work to do, including myself. I'm not out of this. I point finger to myself first before anyone else. Wallah. Because I've been in the community for quite a long time. And I know what I'm talking about. The last element of a guided community is what? They have etiquette when it comes to disagreement and providing feedbacks. Look at our communities. When he disagrees with me, he goes on social media and chop me into pieces. And those under they start laughing. Everybody enjoying. Is this the community we are building for Imam Zaman? We need top-notch doctors. We need top-notch lawyers. We need top-notch businessmen. Today there are so many poverty in our communities. Poverty. I'll discuss it one night. Only few have the wealth. Majority are struggling to even own a house. But some of us, we don't have the etiquette of disagreements. You see, when the hadith says, "Hasibu anfusakum qabla an tuhasabu, wazinuha qabla an tuzanu." Judge yourselves before you are judged. Individuals. But some scholars say it's not only individual. As communities also, you need from time to time to do self-constructive criticism. Don't criticize for the sake of criticizing, Habibi. Do constructive criticism. And you, those in leadership, when somebody does self-constructive criticism, don't consider him your enemy and not in your camp. That's what's happening. I give him feedback. It's okay, you are my enemy. Oh, Maulana, can you? Maulanas are like that sometimes. Somebody give feedback. Well, of course, you have to give feedback with respect. Somebody, this guy, he doesn't like me. We need to have adab. So I'm going to mention few and then we're done, inshallah. The first adab is what? Before you provide any feedback, make sure you know what you are providing feedback about. Do you have the knowledge about it or are you just talking for the sake of talking? There are some people, they just provide feedback and then you ask them, they can. Number two, when you provide feedback, be objective. Straight to the point. And number three, the aim for providing feedback is for the truth and nothing else. I love my community. I love my leadership. I want to see this community grow. So this feedback I'm giving is nothing but the truth and for khair and not shar. And thereafter, my dear brothers and sisters, let's forgive each other sometimes. There's an ayah, Surah Al-Hijr, verse 85. You'll see it on the screen. It's a long ayah, but it was the last part. فَاصْفَحِ الصَّفْحَ الْجَمِيلِ. Forgive with gracefulness, forgiveness. Mullah, Asantu. Forgive each other. Okay, he's a chairman today. You don't like him? Forgive. No one is giving you feedback. He's not your enemy. He likes you. Forgive. Because without people, you will not lead. And without leaders, you will not have programs like this. So you need each other. Another etiquette to look at is what? Try to avoid unnecessary arguments. Imam Jafar Sadiq, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. He said, Iyakum wal mira wal khusuma. He said, beware, be careful of unnecessary arguments. You know what Imam said? فَإِنَّهُمَا يُمَرِّدَانِ النَّفْسِ. Because this unnecessary argument sickens the heart. It exposes the heart and soul to sickness. وَيُنْبِتُ النِّفَاقِ عَلَيْهِمَا. And it drops and plant hypocrisy in the heart. So as a community, yes, you may argue, you may disagree. But avoid unnecessary arguments. When you have unnecessary argument, your strength go astray. You get tired. You get exhausted. You said, I'm not interested in this community anymore. But please, don't write death warrant on our community. So many potentials I see in these communities. Wallahi al-azim. I'm not saying because I'm sitting here. Wallah. Khuda shahid. Khuda ki kasam. Amazing potentials. And I feel potentials are being wasted. So avoid unnecessary arguments. Number 3, try to keep in touch with the community. Here and there. Don't go into long gaiba. And then you reappear only in Muharram. Or on the 10th day or the night of Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam. Hajat, everybody want to hajat. I agree. Help. Madrasa, you want to help, why not? Scout, you want to help, why not? Tabligh, you want to help, give them chance. Let them help Habibi Muhammad, why not? So many potentials. We are not living in a normal time, brothers and sisters. What we've been doing for the past 50 years, we cannot keep doing the same and expect the same result. Bottom line. 50 years we've been doing the same, and Habibi, we're doing the same now. Please, man, this is millennial. They've got different challenges. Maybe you come in Thursday, Yasin, Dua Kumail, it makes you happy. Me also, it makes me happy. But some know something else makes them happy. So how do you fine-tune that? So stay in touch. Don't deprive community of your skills and potentials. I beg you. Ladies and gentlemen, I know some communities have challenges. Some communities have red tapes. But I beg you, don't deprive your communities of your God-given talent. Your marriage is done in this community. You will be buried by this community. This same community will say, Allahumma inna la na'lamu minhu illa khaira. No any community will do that for you except this community. It may be rotten sometimes, but it is said, when your hand rots, you don't cut it and throw off. You will go to doctor, doctor, inshallah, help me. So stay in touch. And then the last but certainly not the least, etiquette of disagreement. Try to maintain each other's honor. Al-mu'minu kareem. Wal-mu'mina kareema. Believer is honorable. Even insan is honorable. Let alone a moment. Yes, you agree with me, I agree. You disagree, I agree. But please, I have children. I have a father. If he see about me on social media, he may not be able to sleep. My daughter may not be able to sleep. My son may not be able to sleep. Mu'minin, you can't do that. Yes, you disagree, I agree, you disagree. We have to disagree, I agree. And on the night I'm discussing the concept of Islah, I will look at the best way to do Amr bil Ma'aruf, which I feel we've lost it. Mu'min is Kareem, Insan is Kareem, وَلَكَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي Adam. But today we accuse each other, we attack each other online. And whatever you put online will never and ever be deleted until the day of Qiyamah. You may delete it, but it's somewhere there. It may be against you one day or for you one day. So let's do what? Sitrul Awra, we cover the fault of that you don't address it. But cover it somewhere. Go address it with the person. We have a community to build. We have new challenges in this world. And the challenges are everywhere. Believe you me, my dear brothers and sisters. Wallah, it's not just in the West. It's not just some of us are in deep slumber, thinking that only West have the challenge. Maybe Africa will be even more. And the only thing we have That's my personal understanding. You may disagree with me, no problem. This is not hadith or something. Which is a source of pride and identity is this community of Ahlul Bayt. So let's build it. This will be a source of salvation, a source of finances. I will discuss finances one night also. A source of wealth. Everything is our community. This is not only to come for majlis and call Allah, call Rasul. Community is everything. And these young children, we need to keep instilling that. Everything is here in the community. And we need to show them leadership. And by so doing, Allah will shower us with His blessings and mercy. And we can claim to be the true lovers of Hussein alayhi salam. Because Imam al-Hussein was indeed a guided leader. And Imam al-Hussein guided in style. And he led in style. And his followers, they were exceptional followers. As we mentioned last night. They accepted Imam al-Hussein. And Imam Hussein accepted them. Today you go communities. People don't accept their leaders. Or leaders don't accept the people. As we shed tears on account of knowing the truth of what transpired in Karbala, let us remember that our source of inspiration for having a guided community, guided followers, guided leaders are none other but Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Imam al-Hussein, my dear brothers and sisters, we was butchered in Karbala to leave the best of legacies for us when it comes to building the solid community. Only 72 companions. You don't need the whole community. You only need solid and sincere people to rally behind you with top-notch expertise so that you are able to drive this community to the best of all destinations. Mu'mineen and Mu'minat, Abu Abdullah Salamullah alayh, as we mentioned last night, began his journey from the holy city of Medina to the holy city of Mecca, and from Mecca to the holy city of Karbala. But we know very well, in the holy city of Medina, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam bid his final farewell with who? The Holy Prophet and Fatima Zahra salamullah alayhima. And Abu Abdullah, this line we need to reflect, Mu'mineen and Mu'minat, when he was leaving the grave of our beloved Prophet, Imam al-Hussein will call out, salutations unto you, oh my grandfather. But towards the end, you know what he said? He said, Ana al-Hussein ibn Fatima. Oh my grandfather, oh the messenger of Allah, I am Hussein, the son of Fatima. He said, I am your soul, the son of your soul. He said, oh my grandfather, I am your successor in your nation. But wallah, my grandfather, I want you to bear witness that the Ummah have let me down. But you know, when Abu Abdullah was about to leave Medina, there were many who tried to advise Abu Abdullah not to go anywhere. One of them was Salama. Salama approached Abu Abdullah. She said, oh Hussein, thinking of you going makes me sad. She said, I am sad and upset that Hussein, you are going. Hussein looked at Salama and he asked Salama, why? He said, because the Holy Prophet said to me, you will be slaughtered on a land. And the name of that place is Karbala. And the Holy Prophet has given me piece of turba. And I place this turba in a flask. And that one day this turba will turn into a red color. And he said to me, the moment you see it turning red, know that it is inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un for Hussein. But you know what Imam Hussein said to Salama? He looked at her and said, oh Salama, whether I go or not, I will be slaughtered. Sha'Allah an yarani madhbuha. He said, it is decreed by Allah that I will be slaughtered.
whether I go to Karbala or I remain in Medina, I will be slaughtered zulman wa udwana, unjustly. Abu Abdullah, as you know, left. He arrived in the holy city of Mecca. But you know, this is the Mecca of the Holy Prophet, the Mecca of Allah, the Mecca of Khadija. But when Abu Abdullah came to make tawaf, he was given ultimatum. It's either you pay allegiance or your blood is shed here. Allahu Akbar. Narration tells us, instead of Hajj, Abu Abdullah changed Hajj for Umrah. Imam al-Hussein had to do Umrah. The journey then began towards Karbala. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, mu'mineen and mu'minat, he arrived in Karbala. When he arrived in Karbala, you know, narration says, he looked at his companions and he said to them, Huna Karbala. And they said, Bala, Na'am, Yabna Rasulillah. Yes, indeed, this is Karbala. Then he said to them, Haza mawdi'u karbun wa bala. He said, oh my people, this place is a place of grief. And it is a place of trial and tribulation. Then you know, Abu Abdullah said to them, oh my people, this is the destiny. This is where blood will be shed. And he said, oh my people, this is where men will be slaughtered one after the other. And that is why when those 5 kaffans were sent to Prophet, and Prophet asked them one after the other, and the last kaffan they said is for Hassan alayhi salam. Prophet asked Jibreel, where is the kaffan for Hussein? Jibreel said, because Hussein will be slaughtered alone. Yuzbahu zabah shat. Because Hussein will be slaughtered like a sheep. So Abu Abdullah said, in this Karbala, men are going to be slaughtered. One tradition, I leave you with that. Abu Abdullah, when they got to Karbala, Allahu Akbar, he looked at the companions and he said to them, here we are going to be ridiculed and to be disrespected. And it's true. When he sat on the chest of Hussein, he poked the lips of Hussein. Imam Hussein said, the hurma of Ahl al-Bayt will be ridiculed. It's true. When he sat on the chest, he pulled the beard of Hussein. Abu Abdullah said, this is Ninawa. Our respect will not be retained by these people. And I said, it's true, Ya Abu Abdullah, you are right. When Qasim called out, Agithni ya Amma, rescue me, oh my uncle. But before Hussein got to the body of Qasim, the body was chopped into pieces. Hussein struggled to gather the pieces of the body of Qasim. The flesh were falling down. It's true, Abu Abdullah said to them when they arrived in Karbala, they will not respect us, Allahu Akbar. That's why when Zainab, Salamullah alayha, asked Imam Zain al-Abidin, what is being broken out there? He looked at her, he said, Auntie Zainab, nobody is breaking bottles here. They are breaking the ribs of my father. I leave you with this last line. You know what Imam Hussein said when they got to Karbala? He said, this place, children will be slaughtered. It's true. They said when you go for Hajj, you do Safa and Marwa. And not only Safa and Marwa, in Mina you slaughter Hadiya Qurbani. They said Abu Abdullah also had Safa and Marwa in Karbala. And Abu Abdullah had also Qurbani in Karbala. In Mecca, 7 times Safa and Marwa. Abu Abdullah had the Safa. What is the Safa? Katligo. Marwa, Khaymaga. What was he doing? Bodies upon bodies. Bodies upon bodies. He will carry a body. By the time he will get there, another body was waiting for Hussein. Abbas down, Akbar down, Asghar down. Imam Hussein said to them when they arrived in Karbala, our children will be slaughtered here. When you go for Hajj in Mina, you do Qurbani. Abu Abdullah had Qurbani on the 10th day of Muharram. What were the Qurbani of Hussein? The first one is 6-month-old baby. Huna yudhbahu atfaluna. Abu Abdullah said, indeed, this place they will slaughter our sons. Ala la'natullah ala al-qawmi adh-dhalimin. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Wa sayalamu alladhina zalamu ala Muhammad ayya munkalabin yankalibun. Matam al-Husayn, ya Husayn.